Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. I'm Adam and this is Beast Quest Beast Review Series 27, The Ghosts of Karadin. So on the 20th of January 2022, the second half of Series 27 has been released. And on the 21st of January 2022, the day I'm recording this, is the day that me and Lucas have finished reading both books of that series. Me and Lucas are now starting the trend of we're reading all the Beast Quest books, and we started with Devorah and we read Raptex and Gargantua together. It was enjoyable, and we're going to be doing it until we either A, get bored of it, or B, get impatient of waiting for the other one to get the books. That one might not happen, but we will be reading the books together now. As of the time I'm recording this, from what I remember, Gorog and Devorah have been uploaded onto Lucas's channel for the book review. Raptex has been recorded, and Gargantua might be being recorded the same time I'm recording this. If not, it'll be recorded shortly afterwards. But I'm looking forward to hearing what Lucas's opinion is of the last two beasts or last two books and his general opinion of the series, just like I'm sure he's looking forward to hearing my opinion on the entire on each beast. So that's what we'll be doing for now. Also, I don't know if I did it in the last beast review because that was a while ago. No, I didn't do it. I'll be putting down next to each beast what their personality is from how we saw in the book. So it's like a little note from me and Lucas to use for the next tournament, so we know what we're adding on. And then at the end, after giving each beast their score, I'll be doing the total scores of each attribute plus the grand total, and then I'll be saying the percentage that the score has, rounded up or down depending what the decimal point is. Okay, so we're going to start things off with Gorog, the Fiery Fiend. So design for Gorog is a 7 out of 10. It's from first glance for me and Lucas, it looks like a bulldog, but now we've got a closer look. It is clearly a Varcule, which had been brought up previously in the series, especially in Series 10, and any other ancient beast like Anoret. So it feels great to finally see a Varcule beast. I like the hint of red, the jagged saber teeth it has, along with the fire over its head, the sharp claws, so much. Now, with abilities, it's an 8 out of 10. I won't be listing all the abilities because little secrets here, and also if I don't remember them, then I don't remember them. Sharp fangs, obviously, sharp claws, thick hide, and of course, the most important one that Gorog has, and the reason why it's an 8 out of 10, it has this thing that I'm referring to as a heat gaze, where if his eyes are set on its target long enough, it will start burning up to where they'll eventually combust. Which is actually kind of cool. The fight was a 7 out of 10 because it wasn't as incredible as the abilities, and I believe Gorog just got knocked into a nearby river, and that's how it got defeated. But Gorog wasn't the main focus of that book, as it was more on the main villain and also his whole scheme and his ability to get more powerful after each beast is defeated, and from each time Tom and Alina show willpower or dedication to winning. But the total for Gorog is a 22 out of 30. It's just an okay beast with nothing incredible apart from a unique ability, the heat gaze. But it is shown in the fight that it is a non-stop fighter. It will keep going until it goes down. Up next we have Devorah, the Death Fish. Design for Devorah is a 6 out of 10. Now, just by looking at it, it doesn't look that impressive because it just looks like a giant piranha. And going on the going on the random page of Devorah I found in the book, it didn't really catch my attention. Didn't seem interesting. And because design is is the exact opposite of the saying "Don't judge a book by its cover." Where I do judge a book by its cover, I didn't like it. So unfortunately, Devorah, despite having 6 eyes, fins everywhere, and two rows of teeth, no. Abilities for Devorah is an 8 out of 10 no, because, well, apart from the sharp fins and the sharp fangs or teeth, it also has 2 very key abilities, which is why it's even got a high score. And that is with the ability to go from this form into a school of fish, kind of like Wishy-Washy from Pokemon, or Solix, Kreta, or Larnak. Being able to go into a swarm, but for a fish it's called school, and just attack her opponents like that. Or it can stay in that one. And also it has the ability to freeze and unfreeze water at will. And also control how much is frozen, how much is not, which is quite incredible and can be used as a little crutch to help Devorah in Battle of the Beasts. The fight for Devorah is an 8 out of 10. Not a very exciting fight, but it was more exciting than Gorog's fight. It involved Arcta, but Arcta got stuck in the frozen lake, so well done, Arcta, you're doing nothing. Again. But it had Tom and Alina, well, Tom especially, swimming to fight the fish off, and I don't remember how it was beaten because it was a while since I read it. But if I can hopefully find a picture that would help me, please. Oh yeah. Okay, so it had Silver coming in to help by leaping from ice patch to ice patch to get off the lake because he was trapped in the lake, and also had Tom throwing ice chunks at the underbelly of Devorah, which is not as tough as the rest of it, which obviously finished off Devorah. A bit of a simple end for Devorah, but I'm sure she will have a bit more of a dignified end in Battle of the Beast if she is to die. Devorah's total is 22 out of 30. Personality is also a non-stop fighter, and for the statement, surprisingly better than Gorog, because looks can be deceiving apparently. The fight was good and the abilities were much better. The abilities were the main attribute for Devorah. Up next we have Raptex the Sky Hunter. Design for Raptex is an 8 out of 10. Now for Raptex, I just having a better look at it now, it seemed very similar to Vigrash. Because it is just a regular Griffin, I didn't want to give it a 9 or a 10. So what I did was I looked at the score I gave Vigrash for design because it looks better than Vigrash, and I saw that I gave Vigrash an 8. And I was like, fine, okay, I need to give Raptex an 8 because I'm not giving him a 9. And that's what I stuck to. He's gotten 8. I will say though, he looks much better than Vigrash does though, so that is something that he has. Yay! The abilities are a 7. The abilities are, well, flight, agility, sharp claws, sharp beak, sharp fangs, and of course a thick hide, and an ear-piercing screech. It is essentially the same as Vigrash, so nothing much changed there. And the fight was a 7 out of 10. It had the village of Milden come together to defend a statue, which ended up falling down anyway. And then it had Alina cover Raptex's vision with a cloth from a windmill sail, and then Tom throwing the statue's spear through Raptex's wing, and then Raptex just yielded. What I learned from this fight is that the village stood together to fight the beast, which I found kind of cool, and has been visited before, but still very well done in this one, in my opinion. And also, having this beast actually yield kind of shows that this beast was a tough one to defeat, meaning he might be a hard one to kill in Battle of the Beasts. But depending who his opponent is, he'll be fine or he's going to lose. But the total for Raptex is 22 out of 30. Personality is angry. And I put, me and Lucas agreed on angry because for most of the time he was just transport for Karadin. And when he was eventually set loose onto Milden to wreak havoc, he didn't really show anything that showed any intelligence or the fact he would keep on fighting, because he was forced to take a step back at one point. So me and Lucas just thought it would be best if we just stick with angry. Moving on to statement for Raptex. It looks better than Devorah, but it's not as good in the abilities and fight department as the abilities were seen before, and the fight and how it was done, especially with the village coming together, was seen before. And God forbid, Tusk of all things. I really don't like saying the fact that the fight was seen before in Tusk. This is the one thing I can give Tusk. It has a good fight. If I had a nickel for every time I said that, I'd have 2 nickels, which isn't a lot, but it's weird it happened twice. But yeah, Raptex, I'm sorry, mate. Come on, you were a bit of a letdown, let's be honest. Up next, we have Gargantua. Design is an 8 out of 10. In my opinion, the best design of the series, of Series 27. I obviously have my fondness for Snake Beast, but you can see a little metallic chime coming from its side, the pitchfork tail in the back, and the amount of detail on its face looks incredible. You go to the abilities, which is sharp fangs, sharp horns, metallic body, so it can be used as a battering ram, but also projectile and melee weapon proof. Pitchfork tail, tail whip, inky venom or acid venom, as me and Lucas confirmed earlier when we were reading this. That came up to a grand total of 9 out of 10. And my favourite ability that Gargantua has, is that it's very persuasive. And a way in which it's saying that is that at some point in the book, spoilers if you haven't read this, by the way, but why are you even watching this video if you haven't read the book? Gargantua just seemed, before she fights Tom, kind of tries to reason with him, kind of tries to persuade Tom to join forces with her, not feel emotions again, just feel nothing but raw power, the energy, the strength, just by sliding on one ring. And throughout the entire moment, Tom was trying to resist, but found himself doing it anyway, because of how persuasive this beast is. And moving on to the fight, there were 5 fights throughout this entire book. In 8 chapters, 5 fights. Hold on, give me a minute. We'll just start with the first one. First fight was Tom and Alina versus Epos and Karadin. That one was a short, brief fight where Epos basically kamikazed into the volcano to reveal a cave where we find out that Gargantua is actually in there. The second fight is Tom versus Karadin, which was a very quick fight, and Karadin ended up turning to dust. Nothing much to report there. But that was a very quick one. Me and Lucas were first a bit disappointed by that, but then the rest of it got better. I'm going to go over here, see if that any better. Nope, sticking over here. The third fight was Tom versus Alina, because this was after Tom was being controlled by Gargantua. So it was technically Gargantua versus Alina, where it felt sentimental because of the journey that both Tom and Alina gone through together, that they were now fighting. And this is like the proper all-out fight that they're actually having, unlike ones that have been teased in Mortax or random points in Series 24, ignoring Kroko. This is one that this is like a proper fight this time. Fourth fight is Tom and Alina versus Gargantua. It seems like Gargantua is going to win because she's immune to their attacks and is about to crush Tom up, and then Epos comes in to fight Gargantua one last time, and that was the one last time. She won, killed Gargantua by dropping her into her own volcano. However, Epos took her own life for that, because she got bitten by Gargantua's acid venom and was already badly wounded from Kamikazeing. And Epos, the sixth beast of Avantia, the Flamebird, the finale of Series 1, has perished in this fight. With all 5 fights, and that one being the most sentimental because of the amount of times Epos swooped in to help Tom and Alina. The token that she gave Tom has helped him so many times. It was so sentimental. I felt obligated. I had to give the fight for Gargantua a 10 out of 10. Now, at the end of the book, it was hinted that Epos may still be alive, or there's something else which ignited a little flame. But I don't want to spoil too much. I think I already did. But with that, Gargantua's fight is a 10 out of 10. The total for Gargantua is a 27 out of 30. Easily the best book of this series, and the best beast as well. With all attributes given great scores, and it just kept getting better. The design was good, however, it was still the weakest attribute. The abilities were great, the fight was better. Gargantua easily has the best abilities of Series 27, but also has the best fight and the best design. Nothing to laugh about. And Gargantua's personality, cunning, obviously. With the persuasive nature that Gargantua has, I had to give her cunning. And it has such a fantastic and satisfying ending. Honestly, I was really happy with the way it ended. Even though Lucas might say when he's doing a review that I seemed a bit choked up when reading that last chapter because it was a funeral. I'm glad it ended the way it did, and I think it's very satisfying as well. The totals are: designs is 29 out of 40. The second half of the series had much better designs, however the first half dragged it down to where it kind of makes me lose interest in the series. Gorog was just a Varkule with some red on it, and Devorah was a piranha. We know what my opinion were on those, not as good. However, Raptex and Gargantua saved that in the design department. The abilities are 32 out of 40. It's a great batch of abilities, especially on Gargantua. But Raptex pulls it down by a bit because we'd seen his abilities before. And the fights is a 32 out of 40. All fights were okay, but Gargantua's multiple fights throughout the entire book were great, and none of them were disappointing. They all may seem kind of quick, but when you realise how many fights were in that book, and the fact that you all had some sort of sentimental value to it, I'm not disappointed. And if that's the reason why Lucas is disappointed by this book, then so be it. My opinion. So, and the grand total is 93 out of 120. It's honestly a great score. It started good, got better. Started good with Gorog, got better with Devorah, gone down a bit with Raptex, but ended on a great note with Gargantua. And that is something which is good, apparently. Which I can't get over that ending. It's honestly a great ending for this series, which compared to others, it might be a bit mediocre, but it ended on a great note, and I'm not disappointed. The percentage that the grand total got is 78%. Well, technically 77.5, but I told you I'm rounding up, so it's 78%. That's what 93 out of 120 is. 77.5%, and rounding the decimal up, 78%. That's what Series 27 got. But with that, there's only one more thing left to do, and that's to rank each beast from my least favourite to favourite. So, with that, my least favourite book of this series, probably comes to no surprise, is Raptex the Sky Hunter. Unfortunately, I really wanted to like this beast, however, it just got kind of disappointing, as when you find that the abilities are the same as Vigrash, which we already have a Griffin beast for, and he's not even that great either. So that's something that kind of disappointed me, but ignoring that, he does look better than Vigrash, but that's all he has going for him. Third, we have Gorog, the Fiery Fiend. Apart from the title being very similar to Rykar and Hellion especially, it's a great looking beast. Finally, we got a Varkule one. Whilst it's not amazing, it's not disappointing either. And I'm glad to see, even though this book was mainly set up, it had a fair amount of beast action in it, which made me enjoy it, obviously. And that is what second place Devorah actually has. It has a fair amount of beast action and showed her true powers, which really impressed me. And Devorah is the definition of don't judge a book by its cover. It looks disappointing, it looks terrible, but it was a good beast. Well, evil, but it had great abilities, and a very good fight as well. But of course, we know what my number one was going to be. If you watch this channel long enough, you know I have a fondness for snake beasts, so it was come to no surprise that Gargantua would even be in the top half. But Gargantua is obviously number one, being an incredible finale, with a bunch of fights, great abilities, and an amazing design. This beast is probably going to be a very formidable opponent in Battle of the Beasts, and throughout the entire time I was reading this, I had a thought about how Gargantua is actually going to do in Battle of the Beasts. I have a rough idea, however, luckily Gargantua's fight is towards the end of round one. However, I don't know how I'm going to use it in round one. I know what I want to do, but I don't know how to do it. So we'll wait and see how that goes. But Gargantua, great fight, great abilities, and great design. Well, great all around, actually. Is Gargantua the best snake beast? I'm not sure, because my favourite snake beast before Gargantua is Torpix, for multiple reasons, and two main reasons is has probably one of the most important jobs that any beast has, guarding the Eternal Flame, and also it was the first winner of Battle of the Beasts, something that no other beast can take. However, Gargantua has much better abilities, so I don't know if Gargantua will be a better beast than Torpix, in my opinion. What would need to happen is that we need to wait and see how Gargantua does in the next tournament that will be starting very soon, probably in the next week or so, and then see how we go from there. But until then, that's all for this time. If you like what you saw, leave a like, leave a comment, don't forget to subscribe, press the notification bell down the corner below, and I'll see you next time.